Coming up on Oxford Weekly News, it's that time of the year. Learn how Miami is dealing with the flu season. But first, as Greek communities across the country remain under scrutiny, Oxford Weekly News has the scoop on changes made to this year's bid policies. Welcome to Oxford Weekly News. I'm Isabel Hansen. Thanks for joining us. All eyes are on Miami's Greek community. Last year, the week following bid day led to increased hospitalizations from alcohol overconsumption. I spoke with Greek life leaders to find out how the recruitment process has changed this year and to find out how bid week is going so far. Potential new members line the halls, ready to find their future sorority sisters. The start of spring semester kicked off with men's and women's recruitment. Over 800 men and 1,000 women entered the process.
We have some really wonderful women in our community that are really going to build up these first-year students who are just experiencing college. They have so much time left, and they have no idea how exciting it is.
On February 11th, the hard work paid off for Panhellenic President Annie Widener. Excitement filled Millett Stadium as women opened bid cards and ran to their new home. But the true test is yet to come. Bid week.
This is a big week because nationally, Greek life's under huge scrutiny, and specifically for our university, this tends to be one of the highest risk weeks for our new members and for Greek life in general.
During previous bid weeks, hospitalizations rose to alarming numbers due to overconsumption of alcohol.
We really got to the root of the problem, and we believe that it's overconsumption of alcohol is in large part due to people not feeling like they belong or not knowing anybody, and they want to feel more comfortable.
This year's Panhellenic and Interfraternity Council solution:
hitting things proactively instead of reactively like it's been done in years past.
Panhellenic women must sign contracts to follow this year's new policies. Women cannot drink alcohol for 24 hours after bid day. New members must be in dorms at their midnight curfew. Panhellenic approved each chapter's new member week plans. As for men, bid week rules weren't as clear.
It was just a little bit of the gray areas, and people try to play in that, but we want to make it more clear-cut and understand and take a note from the girls.
IFC President Stephen Galanka says bid week is about growing as a full community. He says there is room for improvement, but a lot is going well. For Annie,
all that, there are just so many unknowns and so many things that are out of our control. And that's scary because that's not something that we can plan for, and then we just have to be reactive. But I am confident that with the outgoing board's support of the incoming board and all the incoming presidents being on the same page and communicating with each other, that we can have a successful week, whether we have to react on the other end or if our proactive efforts will suffice, and I hope they will.
Bid week officially ends on Friday, February 15th. At that time, each sorority chapter is required to meet with Panhellenic leadership to review their behavior. Rules then may be lifted, depending on the results. The Oxford Police Department is implementing a new technology designed to keep the community safe. The OPD is bringing full transparency to the public through the use of new body-worn cameras. Chief John Jones says that although the new cameras are helpful in some ways, privacy restrictions limit what certain officers can document with video. Officers recently have started to utilize cameras in the field.
We believe the body-worn cameras are going to help us in documenting our incidents with the public, in providing better testimony to the court, and providing better transparency to the general public and of the community we serve.
Representatives from the OPD will be part of a public safety forum hosted by the Miami Student newspaper. The forum is designed to spur conversations and possible solutions for the city's health and safety challenges.
So we got into a lot of conversations with the fire department about how much of a strain that puts on their resources. And then that made us think about kind of a gap in understanding of how the actions of students, particularly ones that impact our public health and safety services, impact the Oxford community as a whole, because even though we only live here during the school year and are not permanent residents of Oxford, we're using most of those resources.
The City Matters Public Forum will be held on Wednesday, February 21st at 7 p.m. in the Wilkes Theater of Armstrong Student Center. It's free and open to the public. Miami's Board of Trustees met on campus on February 15th and 16th. Trustees had a number of items on its agenda, including a request to approve a $70 million renovation budget for Porter, Richard, and McCracken residence halls, including the McCracken Market. In addition, the university is seeking approval of a 3.5% increase in the Miami Tuition Promise Guarantee for the incoming fall 2018 class. The trustees also considered a request to create a similar tuition promise guarantee on Miami's regional campuses. Recent funds from the federal government have been approved to the City of Oxford to build a connector road between US 27 South and State Route 73. The project dates back to 2006 when it was first introduced to City Council. Construction is estimated to start next year. The city hopes the new access road will help improve traffic flow in the area. You may soon be able to pair a glass of wine with your fruits and vegetables. The Oxford Farmers Market is expected to begin selling wine from a local vendor, but first, a liquor license will be required. City Council agreed to foot the bill for the project once the license is issued. Pool season may seem far off in February, but that hasn't stopped city planners from moving forward with plans for a new Oxford Aquatic Center. Oxford City Council agreed to fund a new pool at the proposed Aquatic Center. The city says the original pool has outlived its intended life cycle and requires expensive upkeep. This is a rendering of what the new pool will look like. Construction is expected to start in June or July. Speaking of things to do in warmer weather, students and community members can prepare for a new bike share program headed to Oxford. Miami Associated Student Government is working with Oxford City Council to fund the program. Bike fees and maintenance will be free to Miami and Oxford community members. The program is expected to be available via an app on your phone that allows participants to unlock and lock bikes across Oxford. Coming up on Oxford Weekly News, Miami University sees a decline in applications for the incoming fall class of 2018. But first, see what steps the university is taking to combat a bad flu season. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Oxford Weekly News. I'm Kristen Stratman. The flu this winter has been the worst since the swine flu epidemic in 2009, and according to the CDC, it hasn't even peaked yet. Between 40 and 60 students are coming into student health services every single day to get tested for the flu. This taxes the center's time and resources. Charge nurse at Student Health Services, Becky Foster, says that the severity of this flu season is bringing students into the health center at an alarming rate.
I think there's an increased concern about it and the severity of it. So people are seeking treatment and seeking to know if they have the flu when they're sick more quickly than before.
Miami is doing everything it can to keep the flu in check. Director for the Office of Student Wellness, Rebecca Bowdry-Young, says that educating students on how to stay healthy is a high priority.
So we have launched a hand washing campaign across campus, and our Hawks Peer Health educators have put posters out, messages out on social media. They do a newsletter of sorts called Toilet Talks that go in all the residence halls, so reminding students that they need to wash their hands.
In addition to educating the student body on staying healthy, the Office of Student Wellness has asked custodial staff to deep clean common areas on campus. Resident assistant at Hepburn Hall, Ryan McGuff, is worried that he may catch the flu from his peers.
You know, even like a lot of my friends have gotten it, and it's kind of scary to see my friends get it because it seems like it's slowly getting closer and closer to me, and it's just like surrounding me, and that's just like kind of scary.
This season, make sure you take the steps to stay healthy.
If you're trying to ward off the flu this season, some things you can do are get a flu shot, wash your hands regularly, don't share utensils or drinks, and drink lots of fluids. Back to you, Isabel.
Applications for the incoming fall 2018 class at Miami are down slightly from this time last year. Miami has received nearly 30,000 applications as of early February, a decrease of roughly 0.5% from 2017. The university plans to enroll 3,750 first-year students on its Oxford campus starting in the fall. Coming up on Oxford Weekly News, learn how Miami is prepping for the triennial Charter Day Ball. Looking for a fun-filled night in Oxford? Miami's Charter Day Ball is set for February 17th from 8 p.m. until 1 a.m. in Millett Hall. Preparations for this Miami tradition, which happens every 3 years, have been taking place since the previous ball. The Charter Day Ball is an event to celebrate the chartering of Miami in 1809. Miami's huge birthday party this year is called Into the Ivy. The night consists of a fun night out full of dancing, food, photo booths, and fancy clothes. All are welcome.
They want to wear no matter who they want to come with, if they want to come with anybody at all. It's like a really unique thing we're doing for this ball is inclusion. It's actually the biggest value of our ball. So our big focus on this ball is making sure that everybody in the Miami community feels welcome and accepted, and that they're excited about this ball no matter what they want to wear, no matter who they want to come with, if they want to come with anybody at all.
Tickets can be purchased in the box office in Miami's Campus Avenue building. Tickets are $40 per person, but groups of 8 or more receive $10 off per ticket. Romance was in the air this Valentine's Day for Miami mergers. Every year, Miami University's Alumni Association celebrates the most romantic of traditions by sending a special Valentine's Day card to Miami merger couples. Miami mergers account for 14% of Miami's alumni base, compared to the national average of couples who married their college sweethearts at roughly half that number. That's all for this week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Isabel Hanson. You can watch us online or on our YouTube page. Search Oxford Weekly News. Also, connect with us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Oxford Weekly News.